Welcome to Energising Life with AKR Fitness. I'm Jace. I've got Mike here with me.
Hello.
Hi, Mike.
New seat for me today.
A new seat, yeah, you've been upgraded.
Is that what it is?
You get closer to the host. We are joined here at the breakfast bar with AKR member Chris. Chris, welcome.
Hey, how you doing, chaps?
Very well, how are you?
Yeah, all good, all good. Had my class today, so ready to go for the rest of the weekend.
Ready to go. Chris was in earlier and we did a bit of a tango together. So he's still speaking to me, which is good because it could have been a really awkward podcast otherwise.
Yeah.
So tell us about yourself, Chris.
Yeah, so I'm Chris Ward. I'm a 46-year-old father of 4, 3 dogs, couple of cats, fish, tortoise, lizards. Lots of dependents. and a wife, of course. So from a place called New Ferry, which is on the Wirral, just near Liverpool. I've lived up in Aberdeen for the last 20 years. So married a Stonehaven lass, and we've lived there since 2001.
Sounds like you've rehearsed that.
No, that's just off the top of my head, mate.
First time.
Dawn's fan as well.
Well, we'll see about that next year.
Honorary
I've got a season ticket, but I'm toying with the idea of Cove this year. Yeah. I don't know if I can face another season of watching the Dons.
Very valid though, is it?
Yeah.
Mike, you've been quiet. How are you?
Yeah, hey, good, yeah.
How's the change of seat?
It's all right, I'll take maybe a bit of getting used to it, but no, happy to have Chris with us.
So Chris, how long's Chris been a member now?
Chris, you had your strategy session here in 2016, March 2016. So it's a little over 5 years. So tell us first of all, what brought you, or when did AKR first get on your radar, and what brought you through our doors?
Okay, so I did work just around the corner. A few folk in my work were coming to AKR, and one of the guys from work had signed up previously to Tough Mudder. Mentioned that to us. I said yes, I'll sign up. Paid my extortionate membership or whatever fee for about 70 quid. And then it dawned on me it's like a half marathon, all sorts of obstacles. So I thought maybe try and get myself a little bit better in shape. So came across the road, had a quick chat with Mike, and that was it really. That was the introduction to AKR. Mike said, "What do you want to do? How do you want to get through Tough Mudder?" For me, it was just all about survival. I thought I'd be coming here maybe one class a week, maybe 2 classes a week for 3 or 4 months, and that would be me. And 5 years later, still here. Yeah.
So tell me first of all, Tough Mudder, was it a case of just someone in the office has gone, lads, who's up for this?
Yeah.
And what, you're the sort of person that's just game for giving it a go?
Yeah, I'm very spontaneous. I don't really think about things. I just dive in 2-footed and then deal with the consequences afterwards.
And so the afterwards part was, okay, so what is Tough Mudder? And then it dawned on you that actually you're going to need to do a bit of work.
I paid my money, then I watched a video on it and I thought,
oh crap.
Yeah, here we go. I need to. You obviously need a little bit of arm strength to get across the monkey bars. I'm not a great swimmer, so I probably should have practiced that a little bit better. Don't like the cold, so I thought it was a nice. But you know what I mean?
Perfect event for you.
Yeah, it was just like
right up
worst nightmare. Yeah.
And so you decided that you needed to get a little bit fitter, a little bit more in shape for that. Take us back to 2016. Like, were you already doing any exercise?
No,
Had you been in the years prior? What was your life and lifestyle like?
Yeah, I mean, jokes aside, with the Tough Mudder bit, there was a side of me where I was thinking I think I was just turning 40. I'd been lucky in my earlier life where I could just eat and drink and do whatever I wanted, and not much weight was going on. But I just felt like I was getting to that stage in my life where it wasn't dropping off. It was gathering momentum. And I thought if I didn't do something quite soon, then it could. There's this way, or try and do something a little bit more. Played football, 5-a-side, walked fast. When I was walking, walked a lot, but that was about it really. Never ever been into a gym before. Ever. So it was like coming here was the first time ever coming to a gym.
And so, how did that feel coming in for the first time?
it didn't faze me really. I was coming over I think I came over with a guy from work. So the pair of us just came over. Like I say, I had a chat with you, and I just thought, see how it goes. You know, I'd always been interested in, you know, what do people do in gyms, and you know, how do you do a squat? How do you know those type of things? How do you lift weights? But never having been in one before, I guess it was quite daunting to just walk into a gym, you know, and hang out with the boys in the mirror and pump an iron.
And is that part of why you hadn't been in a gym before, or it just never crossed your mind?
Just never really crossed. I just wasn't one of those people. You know what I mean? I felt, and what those people were, I don't know, but I didn't feel like
you weren't one of them. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
So essentially, I guess a couple of things came together in the spontaneity of the Tough Mudder thing, but also it sounds like there was already a little bit of a seed in there in your mind where you're like, I'm maybe not as, you know, I'm maybe going to have to start taking a bit more care of my health and my fitness.
Yeah, I'd always suffered with like a bad back. When I was 15, I fell out of a tree. I was hanging upside down, larking about in front of a couple of girls, and unfortunately the branch snapped and I landed like here on my neck, and ever since then it must have been some sort of like whiplash, and the base of my back was always like really, really sore. So again, I mean, I'm jumping around a bit here, but I mean, coming to the gym has really helped that, and I think that's maybe one of the reasons why I'd never really been to the gym, is because I'd always suffered with my back, and that had always been a struggle for me, you know.
Yeah, and so it didn't feel in your mind that the gym was going to be the answer to your back
No,
issues.
I didn't think. Chiropractors, osteopaths, you know, all that type of stuff, painkillers.
Mm-hmm.
So
I remember when you came in, it's funny because for the listener, Chris over the years with us, you know, became like one of the.
When I came on to AKR, when I came on board, Chris was an animal. Chris was always like, right, I want Chris in my session because I know I can throw the locker at Chris and he'll just take it. And he's just a fit guy. So I've always known Chris as this
athlete,
and
yeah.
So I'm intrigued to hear that you'd never been in a gym.
Yeah, no, I never.
Yeah, and going into the back, I remember because when you joined, it was that early. It was just there was me and there was Lindsay. We were coaching all the sessions. I remember, you're probably 20 kilos on what you are now, or what you were. Couldn't touch your toes.
Nope.
Not a great mover. I guess.
I had no hinge. That was the thing
no
for me.
hinge.
It was with the back, and that was the thing that we worked on for a good few months. It was just that simple movement, and I guess it's key to all the movements that you do in the gym. If you don't have that or get that right, then you can do yourself a little bit of damage, can't you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, when people aren't moving well, particularly, and often people aren't moving well when they're in pain, and being able to give them different options and different ways to move can certainly help. So, what were those first few months like? So you came in initially, it was just about Tough Mudder. What were those months like? In terms of like, were you fired up about Tough Mudder? Were you really motivated about that? And also, having never been in the gym, how was it navigating those first few months, learning how to hinge and getting your bearings?
I just put my trust in, I guess, yourself and Lindsay. I just listened to what you said, tried to, focus on the movement, try and focus on the muscles you were telling me that should be working, and just listening really, because like I say, I mean, doing anything other than that would have probably been dangerous for me. And I think, without you guys there, if I'd have walked into a gym with like a couple of pals and stuff like that, it would have been a disaster zone. I probably would have maybe gone there a couple of months, got Tough Mudder out of the way, and that would have been it for me. Back to the old me kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. So Tough Mudder came and went. Tell us about that experience first of all.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was a little bit nervous about Tough Mudder. I'd never really travelled, ran that distance before, so I didn't really know what to expect. So a little bit nervous leading up to it, but felt I'd done enough, in the couple of months in the gym to strengthen me up a wee bit, and done a little bit of running as well. So on the day, we just rocked up and did it. It was because we did it in a group. you kind of all stick together. So I was kind of like in the middle of the pack with the rest of the team. There was a few slower, a few faster, but we just all helped each other out, and I really enjoyed the day. It was good, good achievement. I felt it was a good achievement at the time.
Was it cold, wet?
Yeah, it was cold. Yeah, and it was cold from the very beginning. You know, I mean, the first obstacle was the ice bath, and so it was like hold my nose because I don't like water going up my nose, and the water was filthy, and it was just full of ice, and
the most perfect event for you to go and take.
I think maybe Lindsay did it that year as well.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe did.
Yeah, so I've not done Tough Mudder, but we've done several years. We've done
the
Beast race, which is a local one. And it's funny because I think people do go with the anxiety and the pressure of this like event. But like you said, you end up just like going around as a group.
Yeah.
It's not like not taking it as a competition, but just as a day out kind of thing.
Yeah, and at the end of it, you do, you know, there's a beer waiting for you. There's a lot of high fives, back slapping.
Togetherness
kind of thing. Yeah, it's good.
Which is, I guess, why your work did it, a bit of corporate bonding and team building.
Yeah, I mean, it was all the work that the team were all from the same workplace, but you know, we just all did it off our own backs, kind of things. I think we did get the business to buy us all T-shirts, but that was about it.
So
Tough Mudders came and gone.
Yeah, aye.
But you're still at AKR.
Yeah.
How's that journey gone from you?
Yeah, why did you come back?
Just coming here just to get fit for the Tough Mudder. What kept you on?
Well, I was seeing progression, wasn't I? I mean, I was getting stronger. The back pain was going. You know, and also I think you felt like part of it as well because I think at the time AKR was just starting out, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. So you know, you were seeing like a new piece of kit would come in, and it'd be like quite exciting. You'd be like, oh, there's the rower, there's the skiing machine, there's, you know what I mean? It was all these new things came, and you would get destroyed by them. You know, even simple things like new weights coming in, it was all, you just felt like you were part of it, and then you would start to use that new piece of kit, and you were just getting stronger. New members were coming all the time as well, so it was just, you felt like you were part of something. It wasn't just the gym itself, the weights and the kit. It was, I suppose at the time I was quite heavily involved in all the Facebook stuff as well, and I think you were probably just starting out on all your habits and building things in that sense as well. So it was, you know, if you think about the way I lived back in them days, you know, I would watch a bit of TV, 10, 11 o'clock, go to my bed, you know, get on the phone, watch something on the phone, you know, like a lot of people do. You know, you'd fall asleep, you know, 1 a.m, wake up at 5, 6, not getting properly slept, not eating properly, and, you know, all the bad habits that you would have. You know, you work on them when you're part of this gym here, I would say. So, yeah, it wasn't just the gym piece; it was just across the board. I felt like it was helping me. And the other part was, you know, you were doing that hard work in the gym. You didn't want to undo that by, you know, tucking into a couple of pizzas and. Yeah, I mean,
so you know, it sounds like, first of all, it sounds like, you know, you really lit up there, almost going back to that stage where things, I was going to say when things were improving. Things are always improving, but it sounded like just being part of that growing environment. Yeah, growing in terms of your own fitness was growing, but you were saying like new faces were coming in. The facility in the gym itself was transforming. All that, you know, seemed to light you up a bit there.
Yeah, definitely. It just kept you coming through the door, and it worked for me. Like I say, I worked around the corner. You could come in before work. You could nip in at lunchtime. You know what I mean? It just fitted perfectly for me. You could come in the evenings as well. So I mean, it just seemed a good fit at the time. Yeah. You know. So like I say, until, you know, the COVID stuff, I didn't realise how much of a routine person I was. I always thought, you know, I just rock up to things, but you know, that's the last 12 months have been, you know, quite a struggle because it's knocked me out of my routine. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm hoping that, you know, now that we're back, I'm hoping that I can get back into that routine and get back to it, kind of thing. So yeah, it's routine, and you know, the fact that it was just around the corner. And the flexibility of the place, because, you know, if I was busy at work and I could see at 12 o'clock there was a slot here, I could just go and book it, an hour before, and that was me in the gym. I always had my gear with me, always ready to try and find a time where I could just get in here.
Yeah, good. So I want to dive into the COVID stuff and the blip and falling off track. But first of all, going back into you said about like the building the habits and stuff like that. So you came in. Initially, it was just let's get in shape for Tough Mudder. You enjoyed the progression, you enjoyed being a part of everything. So beyond Tough Mudder, you carried on. You said at that point about like the sleep and all the other different sort of elements of changing your lifestyle, because you've gone from being like, I don't know if it's right to say this, but almost like typical bloke, enjoying a few beers, playing the odd game of five-a-side, not doing much else, feeling yourself turning 40 and gaining weight, to when Jace
that gym person that you were talking
to
about,
being an absolute beast animal. Everybody's thinking, geez, Chris is a machine. So talk us through that, that stage, probably say 2016, summer of, say after Tough Mudder, to up till maybe the time of the pandemic coming on. Like, talk us through like the change and what changed and how.
I think I just got the bug. You know what I mean? I just every time, and I think still now. You know what I mean? Every time I come in here, I try and give my all. You know what I mean? I like to finish that session where I'm flat on my back in the red zone. You know what I mean? I can walk out of here thinking I've had a good session. That's what I want out of every session, and I would probably say 99% of the time I do give that. So there's that element. It's progression as well. You know what I mean? You're seeing other people in the gym as well, and their progression. And it's not competitiveness, but if someone's lifting a weight the same as you, and they go on high, you think, right, I'm going to give that a go.
That is competitive.
That's exactly competitiveness.
No, but it's I think the term social facilitation, when you're trying more.
Mimetic theory.
You're doing more because of the.
But I do it the same. I'll be working. There's certain people I like working out. I like working out with everyone here, but it's like there's certain people you work out with, and you can just. Oh, you're only putting 5 on there. Go and stick an extra 2.5 on, and they'll do that. You know what I mean? And then it'll be your turn. You'll walk up to the weight, and they'll be like, "Oh, is that all you're doing?" And you're like, "Oh, bloody hell, yeah."
We call them the extra coaches.
Yeah.
So, it sounds like you come in, you caught the bug, is what you said.
Yeah.
You enjoyed working out hard.
Yeah.
Is that what prompted changes? Like you mentioned before, like if you're working out hard in the gym, you're less likely to go and eat 2 pizzas or whatever. But is that what prompted changes in other aspects of your lifestyle, or was it a conscious decision to say, okay, I'm doing well here, but maybe I should work on sleep, or maybe I should work on, like the stuff we were talking about in the Facebook group with the skills practices?
Yeah. So I think there was obviously I had the gym element, and then I started getting into running as well. So I was the gym work and the running in conjunction with improvements in running. I was doing a lot of like glute type work, so all that was helping me with, I guess, my pace at the running. So it was one was kind of feeding the other, and I was working with the coaches here, with Lindsay and Jace, talking about what days I should run, what days I should do the gym, what I should do in the gym, what I should maybe lay off if I had injuries. So it was just I was totally, like I say, in the zone with the gym, totally in the zone with the running. I was seeing improvements, on a monthly basis, getting faster, getting further distances, and I've lots of events in the calendar as well. So that having all that mapped out for me was just kind of driving me on, So and again, it's I wouldn't say I was super competitive, but it's just trying to push yourself that little bit extra. If I did half marathon 1:35, next time I'd try and do one 30 seconds faster or a minute faster, and just keep trying to progress.
And so, did that have an impact on sleep and nutrition and things like that?
The thing is, if you've been in the gym twice in one day and had a run, then you put your head on the pillow at 9 o'clock, and that's you out for 8 hours. So sleep wise, there was no issue. there.
And was there an intention on your part to say, I'm gonna go to bed, or was it just like, I've done a workout today or two and I'm tired and
yeah,
so
for a
forth?
while, if I didn't go to bed, I would end up waking up on the couch at 3 a.m. with a crick neck or a sore back or
because you said at the beginning about collapsing on this, so watching TV for an hour or things like that. I'm curious, just you've spoken about how much you got the bug and you're working out and your progress. Well, your progress was fueled by seeing the progress, and it's a real feed forward cycle. I'm just trying to latch on to say, well, what effect was there a conscious effort in other parts of, again, like nutrition, sleep and things like that, or was it all in the training and again sleep took care of itself because of the exercise? Or did you decide, I'm going to change I'm going to become a really healthy and fit person, or were you just in love with training and training?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think I thought about it too much, but I guess my time here, you get educated. You read the posts from other people. There's habits, so you are getting educated throughout. So if you're doing a workout in the gym and someone's saying you should eat more protein, that'll help the muscles rebuild and regenerate. So you think, well, if I want to work hard today and work hard tomorrow, then maybe I should get some protein down my neck. So when I'm having my dinner or my lunch, I'll just make sure that there's a bit of protein in there. Eating your veggies, well, you just have your lunch. Just when you nip into the Marks and Spencers or whatever you're going for your lunch, you just, instead of going for the sausage roll, or you maybe pick up a salad or something.
Right. So it sounds like for you, it wasn't like, I'm going to change my life, but it was, I'm into the training and you were influenced.
Yeah, you want to fuel that training, make that training better.
But by swimming in this environment and being influenced by the education and other people here, you just gradually made change in other areas rather than making a firm decision.
Yeah, it would be impossible for me to live that life because there's 4 kids in the house, there's leftovers. I hate waste. You know what I mean? I ain't chucking those chicken nuggets in the bin. They're going in here, kind of thing. So in a way, I had to do a little bit of extra work just to burn that off.
Let me jump in then. Where you mentioned kids there. So you said again that you got the bug, and you're training hard. It almost sounds like it was easy, and training, going from never training to training, with ruthless consistency. And you've already said about all the kids and animals in your house, and you got your job. Was it easy, or talk us through that?
Yeah, it didn't. I didn't find it difficult. I just feel it was easy getting up at 5:30 in the morning to come in here at 6 to start work at 7. Because the only difference to doing that than not doing the gym was to get up an hour and a half later and just go straight to work. So it was, in that sense, the mornings were fine. And then once you'd done that morning workout, that was it, done for the day. So I could leave work at 5 o'clock and, here comes Dad, kind of normal life kind of thing. Also, my work at the time, I was able to get out at lunchtime and go out for a run if I wanted. So, you had to motivate yourself, or you had to, want to go and do that training. But yeah, I never once thought, I'm not going to the gym today. I'm not going on that run today. It was just, I don't know.
Just enjoyed being here, enjoyed the training, enjoyed seeing the progress.
Again, it just comes back to if I was training for a race, I would map out, when I was going to run, how far I was going to run, how fast I wanted to run, and I'd try and stick to that. And then around that running, I would map out where I was going to go into the gym. So
nice.
It's maybe sounds simple, but that's just the way it was.
It was a good fit at the right time, and you got the bug. Yeah. I'm just pausing in case you want to jump in. I feel like I'm dominating this.
No, you can get this mic as well for one.
Okay, I think now might be a good time to sort of bridge over to early 2020. COVID hit, and take it from there, because you said you had a bit of a blip at that point.
Yeah, so I think coming to the end of 2020, I decided to move jobs as well. So I had to started a new. Sorry, not the end of 2020, the end of 2019, moving jobs. So the job I had was really flexible, worked around the gym and all that type of stuff, so it was perfect for me. But I didn't feel like I was learning anything new. I felt like I needed a new challenge, so decided in January 2020 to start a new job. So I kind of knew I was going to be maybe 6 months, putting me out a little bit of my routine, but I was willing to work through that. But then obviously 6-7 weeks into that new job, the COVID hit, and then there was the chaos ensued. But so I think for me, it just, to start with, I started doing the Zoom classes, kept the running up, but it just felt like throughout last year, every month it got a little bit more difficult. I was, new job was quite highly pressurised, lots to do, lots to learn. It was a completely new role, new company. And then obviously on top of that, you've got that working from home. So instead of me getting up at 5 a.m. and going for a run or going and doing a gym class, I was getting up at 5 a.m, me dressing gown, and going doing like 3 hours work, clearing my emails, and getting myself ready for the working day. So, come 8 o'clock, I was on top of things and ready to start the working day, as opposed to what happened previously, which was, you'd done an hour and a half at the gym. And then, gets to lunchtime, you've had a few meetings, you've got a bit of catch up to do. So instead of going out a run at lunchtime, you maybe just grab something to eat. It was something quick, it was something from the pantry, cheese sandwich or cheese toasty or a lot of cheese, you know what I mean? Something easy,
something easy and cheesy.
So easy and cheesy, that's it, yeah. And then straight back up to work, and then work, you would just work until 5. It was just a nightmare, really. It just completely threw me out of my routine. And long hours, the work-life balance was just very heavily weighted towards work. So I'm just now trying to get back on top of things. With the gym being open, I'm just forcing myself to come to the gym and trying to pick up, similar to where I was in 2016. I've had a year of, it's not been inactivity, but I feel like I've gone back a couple of years at least, and I'm just wanting to get back started again into it. So.
Mm-hmm. Do you think the change of job would have been enough to throw you off without COVID? Because it sounds like, like you said, getting up, doing emails, or was work harder purely because you're trying to start a new job without getting to be in office?
The new job. It was definitely the new, because I've been in that previous job for 5 years, so I was on top of things. Yeah, it was. I wouldn't say it was easy. We had challenges and etc. And there was lots to do, but you kind of knew the people, knew the role. It worked for me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It was everything else fitted in around it. But this, like I say, it was new role, new people, and just
an onboarding in a
long
remote
hour.
way.
Like I say, busy household as well. So I'm sitting on the upstairs landing. I've got 2 bedrooms behind me, kids fighting, dogs fighting. You know what I mean? It's you can imagine.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, really challenging.
Yeah, but I've got through it and come out the other side and I'm ready to go again. And
so. How did that feel? I know you said you feel like you've gone back 2 years. It's funny, I think, when people do have a setback, it can be really demotivating, mm-hmm. and they don't realise just how quick it is to walk the path for a second time.
Yeah.
My mum, she started running a couple of years ago, mm-hmm. got up to running half marathons.
Yeah.
And she's had a niggle with her foot, and she was like, "Oh, it's gonna." I might not be able to run again. And I was like, you'll be surprised how quickly, once you get going again. But how did it feel? Did it feel like starting over? And what was that like for you?
Well, we're just starting over now. So it's, I'm optimistic, you know what I mean? I'm ready to go again. I feel like I'm starting from a new starting position. So I've got, 5 years gym experience. So I know what's required. There's nothing to learn in there with regards movement. It's just a case of getting the fitness levels up and the the stamina up, and I can see it, because you can see when you're doing the workouts, things that you were doing 18 months ago where you were in maybe the green zone, early yellows, you're looking up and you're hitting red. You know what I mean? You're blowing. Mm-hmm. So it's
had that myself in the last.
But it's like I say, it's the same challenge as before. All you're trying to do is get a little bit stronger, a little bit fitter, and that's all I'm trying to do. So.
And was there a time where you've thought, because I find often people might go one of two ways, where they just sack it off altogether, like it's done, or I don't know if that's even an intentional one, but just more and more time passes, or the other one is I'm going to do something extreme, like I'm going to book another Tough Mudder or a marathon or something. Not that I don't want to say they're too extreme, but something drastic to get back. Like,
well, I do have a marathon booked later this year from last year, so I mean I've got to nip on with the running because I think I've ran 3 times this year or 4 times. So anyway, that's in October.
But was it just a case of, okay, I've been through what I've been through, and I think it's a little bit different because everyone's going through something in the COVID bit. It's a case of we go again, or was it like, was there more to it?
Is there more to it? No, I just think it's just that I know what happened last time. I mean, I know how it worked last time. And I just want to get
that feeling back.
Yeah, get back on track. I didn't like some of the months. I mean, I tried to do something every month last year, but there's been a few months this year, late last year, where I hardly moved at all, and I always thought, when I was at my fittest, that you would look at those people that had been to gyms and quit gyms and took a year out and then gone back and think, why would they do that? But I've done that, and it's easy to do. But
You mean, why would someone get in great shape and then stop? Is that what you mean when you say why would they do that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And now you can see that there's stuff happens in life.
I just thought maybe go back like 3 years. I thought that was me. I thought there would never be a period in my life like last year where there was so much inactivity. But it's so easy to drop into that.
Yeah, so you got yourself in shape, you had a good routine, you enjoyed training, you enjoyed what you're doing, and you thought, this is me. And then then the COVID hit, and then that's what shook you. If you were to rewind, is there anything you would have done differently, or do you think like that was the cards you were dealt, and the work was work, and
Yeah, I would definitely. I probably would have just made myself, instead of doing that 3 hours of emails and work in the morning, I'd probably force myself to either go for a run or do something every day or every other day, kind of thing. Set myself. If it was me talking to me 12 months ago, just say don't set yourself. You're not going to be the Chris from AKR 12 months ago. That's in the gym every day and running every day, kind of thing. Maybe just set yourself 3 days a week where you do something, and just carry that on through the year. Just keep not improving, but just make sure that you try and sustain things so that when you do come back in 12 months' time, you're from a
fallback plan of sorts. Yeah.
Are you still working from home at the minute?
Yeah.
How do you find the routine now with coming into the gym? And the work?
It seems to. What I'll say is I'm 12, 15 months in on the job now, so I'm a lot wiser as to what needs to be done. So I'm on top of things a lot better. But I think having the gym open and booking the classes, once that class is booked, you commit. I feel like you're committed. So I always feel like once I've got
the booking in,
that in the diary, and you'll probably see I'm always quite late to book it because it's. Work can just sometimes crop up and you're scuppered. So it's always like the day before. But I think once I'm trying to do Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, 3 days a week, and then on top of that, I'm going to start trying to build up the running. And I'm also working with Adam on trying to watch my nutrition as well. So we get this mindful chef, and we've been doing that for like the last good few months now. So that seems to work quite well for us. Some of the portions are quite healthy, you know what I mean? Or quite
sparse.
Yeah, no, they're really good portions.
Good portions.
Yeah.
So
I'm probably eating a little bit too much, but at least with that, that forces me to stop work at 6 and cook the dinner for me and Steph and the kids. We end up cooking separate stuff for them, but that breaks up my day as well, and it just ensures that I get the veggies I need. So that's like one little thing. Next step is to try and get on top of the lunches, because that's sometimes 50-50 as to which way I go lunch-wise. Is it cheesy and easy, or that type of thing? So I'm just trying to build it, step by step. That's don't try and set yourself, targets which are unachievable. And I think that's just the education I've had here as well. I remember you used to have a picture up on the wall there that talked about the perfect, was it
what success looks like?
Yeah, what success looks like, and it's not a straight line. It's it's all over the place, and that does. I do think about that. I think you just few little steps in the right direction over a sustained period, and you'll get to where you want to be.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because it almost was that straight line. It sounds like for you in the beginning part, which probably made it harder when you did encounter the difficulties.
Yeah.
So you said, just to go back, I think you said, when COVID hit and you had the new job and things like that, you maybe were still trying to be, again, the Chris from 2019, but in hindsight, and it's a wonderful thing, as they say, but you could have maybe said, okay, well that's gone, but what's a easier version or a smaller version of my routine that can at least keep me ticking over a little bit? Yeah,
that's what I should have been aiming for. And I guess I was looking back, and I think you probably saw it last year, and you maybe saw it with other people coming back to the gym. You came back and you wanted everybody, or I certainly wanted to be the person I was 12 months ago, and it was tough to pick up the weights and find that you couldn't lift a certain weight above your head, and you were almost going back to basics, but kind of gotten used to that now. Mm-hmm. I'm ready to roll with it.
Mm-hmm. I think the funny thing, we spoke in a previous episode about fitness being an infinite game. It's like it just goes on anyway.
Yeah, it's always there.
And I think with the COVID stuff, like I'm sure everyone's got, oh geez, if I knew it was going to be like this, because bear in mind when it happened, we maybe only thought it was going to be a month or two anyway. Mm-hmm. And I think like I almost did the opposite when I just went, absolutely, because I was in the fortunate position I could still train here. Mm-hmm. And I just went hell for leather and just hit a brick wall with everything.
The COVID experience.
Yeah,
the COVID experience.
Let's say somebody's listening just now and they're in a bit of that rut where they're maybe beginner Chris, where they're realising that maybe there's a milestone birthday coming up and their life's, they don't like the direction it's going, or maybe they've been in shape but it's fallen away, and they're facing that what appears like a mountain. Like what are some steps that or suggestions, advice, tips that you might give them?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've already just covered it. It's just it is just baby steps, and don't set yourself ridiculous targets. Because if I said to myself, right, I'm going to run a marathon in a month's time, I'm going to be disappointed because I'm not going to be able to run a marathon. But having that in 6 months' time, I know I can build up to that. So if I start running twice a week now for half an hour, in 4 weeks' time, I could be running 3 times a week, an hour a pop. You know what I mean? Come October time, I could be in shape for a marathon. It's just about
patience.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, everyone's different. You know what I mean? I would say, just baby steps, definitely.
And when looking at your health and fitness, how far in the future do you look? A lot of people, I think, the challenge is that they're pretty immediate with, okay, it's this summer and I'm going on holiday and I want to get in shape. Like, are you that way inclined, or are you more like thinking it, right, well, that was 40, I'm turning 50 in a few years, and 60, do you look far ahead at that, and kids growing up and stuff?
Well, I hadn't really thought about 50, but it's on the list now.
I see Amanda quite a lot. I'm only 13 years till 50. She's like, no!
Maybe, I guess a younger me looking at 50 would have thought that was quite old, but I think it is just a number. I mean, I don't really think about it in that sense. I still feel like I'm the immature 16-year-old.
the same kid that was hanging upside down on a tree.
I'm still using the same jokes from when I was 16. It's still Still a damn sight better than yours, Chase. Yeah.
It's lies. Pure lies. Chris, this is the Energising Life podcast. So could you give us one or two underrated energizers that energize your life?
Gee whiz, that's
a question.
Should have given him a heads up.
That's a question.
Yeah. One or two what?
Like just something you do daily
tongue
or
twister.
weekly that energizes you.
Something that might be underrated.
It might be underrated. I mean, it doesn't have to be underrated. It could.
Yeah. That's a tough question. I mean, for me, what's been energising me the last couple of weeks has been just getting back in the gym. You know, and it's I guess it's not underrated because it's, you know, everyone that comes here leaves here, you know, with a smile on their face and, you know, having done a good workout. So it probably doesn't answer your question, but it is.
Just show up, do your workout.
It is. And I know that when I walk through that door, I'm like I say, in 45 minutes' time, I'll have had a good workout and, you know, a little bit of a sense of achievement and another step on the road to, you know, fitness.
Forwards.
Yeah.
Are there days that you? I think that's the thing I'm fascinated about is motivation and things like that. Are there days where you just don't want to walk through the door, or you don't feel like it, or
Nah, not really. Nope.
tired? Grumpy?
I do get grumpy, I do get tired, but like I say, if I've got my slot booked, that's it. I ain't gonna.
It's very much in that. We've said it a few times.
Yeah.
Plan it in, do it anyway.
Yeah. Different for running. You know, if I say to myself, I'm going to go and do a half-hour run today, and it's horizontal rain, and I'm thinking I've got those hills to run in Stonehaven, it's very easy to not do that because it's easy not to do that. But that said, if maybe in the next couple of weeks, if I start putting a program together for running and, you know, have targets, then that might change.
So what's different then between the running and the coming into the gym? If it's easy not to do the run,
It's the rain, Mike.
is it the rain and the hills? Is it
I don't know.
is it the booking of the session?
I think. So here, if you know, I'm wanting to do my 3 sessions a week, so that's in my head. I want to do that, and I get that booked in, and it's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And if I miss one, I used to hate it. If I missed the gym, that would make me grumpy. But I'm a bit more relaxed about it now. If I miss a session, I think, well, it is just a session. You know, you just work a bit harder on the next one, or you know, you've got plenty more in the calendar to get through this year. So with the running, I just feel like I need events in the calendar. You know, what really drove me on a few years ago was, you know, improving that half marathon time. You know, getting 30 seconds off, getting a minute off, cracking that 1:30. You know, that was driving me on. So I think once things open up and there's races in the calendar this year, I'll say, right, I'll book myself a half marathon, and I'll say, right, that's it now, because I don't want to show up to that half marathon and not do my best. I want to try and turn up to that race and, you know, run as fast as I can on the day. So
Sounds like having just that structure and accountability is something important to you, like having the decision that it's in.
yeah, because I know if you know, like I say, if you got a race in 8 weeks or 12 weeks and you miss a week of training, then it kind of screws up that plan that you've got, because you're going from, I don't know, maybe 7 kilometres that week to 8 kilometres. You're going to have to do a jump. And then when you do that jump, that's when you get injuries. And when you get injuries, yeah, that's when I get grumpy as well. I hate injuries.
An easier question for you then, Chris. Energising music. You got a track that gets you going?
Well, it's got to be Eye of the Tiger, isn't it?
I knew it was coming.
That's what you wanted me to say, wasn't it?
I should have just started.
Yeah. No, there's loads of different music. Yeah, it just depends. I'll listen to lots of dance type music, Underworld, Prodigy. I like listen to Mogwai.
You'll need to wait till Lindsay's back to talk about all that. I have no idea.
Right.
Sounds like, yeah, you are still stuck at when you were 16.
No, I've got Mogwai still. Well, I suppose they are. They've been going for quite a while, but like Future Islands, Flaming Lips. It doesn't have to be, you know, high
Flaming
temp.
Lips?
Yeah. Never heard of them?
I've never heard of them.
Oh, wow.
Mike?
No. Well, there you go.
Get Lindsay back.
She's shaking her head over there.
Shaking her head. Is that a no from you over there?
Yeah, no, it's just a mixed bag, really. It just depends on what I've been listening to on the day. If I'm going out for a run, I mean, I guess the music in the gym, I don't get any choice in that matter, so it's usually your choice or Adam's, like the Spice Girls, Little Mix, the like. So I just tend to zone out when I'm here with the music, and thankfully at the moment it's got to be at a certain level, so you can't really hear it.
I've got nothing clever to say.
Yeah. With the running, when I used to run, I never used to listen to any music, but over the last 12 months I bought these like headphones which sit outside, so you can hear the traffic. So I've started listening to bits and pieces with that, but it doesn't even have to be upbeat music. It's just something to zone out to, So.
Anything else that we should have asked you, or anything else that you would like to say before we wrap this up? Again, to maybe something of value to the listeners, or any parting words?
No, I mean, maybe one thing we didn't cover is coming into the gym. I think it was almost to try and show my kids as well. You know what I mean? Because when I came into the gym when I was 40, my kids were at that age, like teenage age. So I didn't want them to see like some of the bad habits that I had. The drinking at the weekend and eating the shitey food. But more, about me running, none of them are doing it at the moment, but I'm hoping that, when like my eldest daughter goes to university, that she'll maybe join a gym and she'll go to the gym. My son, he's 16, I think he's interested. I think my father-in-law's just bought a treadmill, so they've been up there this weekend trying that out. So I'm ever hopeful that, I might inspire them to run a few races or get into it, get into the gym. I think my son's definitely interested. It's just about, I think he's just turned 16, so he's available to go into gyms. It's just unfortunate the past 12 months he's not been able to.
And what about that is important to you, to be that sort of role model?
Well, I just know what I was like when I was 15, 16, 17, and I certainly don't want that life for them. And we won't go into that, but it's, yeah.
Chris doesn't talk about those days.
Positive choices. Positive
choices, Mike, yeah, definitely.
Oh, good.
All right.
Oh, well, Chris, thank you so much for coming on the show.
No worries.
It's been a pleasure to have you.
All right. No.
Mike, thank you again for co-hosting with me. And thank you to our listeners. And we will see you on the next one. Thanks again, folks.
All right, no worries. Cheerio.